Photoshop can be very overwhelming at first. There are so many interfaces and tools and drop-down menus that sometimes you just don't know where to start. But I'm here to tell you that you'll only be using 10% of the features 90% of the time. So I'm going to help you master that 10% and get over the initial hurdle. In this unit, we'll go over the basic structure of Photoshop, how to navigate the interface, and how to use each tool. Let's get started.
So I have Photoshop open right now, and you're going to see that you have two options here on the left, create new and open. I'm going to go ahead and create something new. So when you click this, it's going to open up this new document dialog. And from here, you're going to have a variety of options. If you go over here, you'll see that currently my width is 7 and my height is 5. My orientation, which I can change right here, is horizontal. You could also make it portrait. At the top, you have a bunch of other options. So let's say you want to work on a photo. It's going to give you landscape, a bunch of options for that. Let's say you want to create something you're going to print out, like a flyer. You have letter, tabloid, legal, all those things. Depending on what you want to work on, Photoshop has a bunch of presets for you to work with. Let's go ahead and just do a letter size, standard 8.5 by 11 inches. There's a drop down. You can work in pixels, centimeters, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just going to work in inches. So that opens up just a blank document for me. Why don't we start by just going through the top drop down dialogues. You click File. This is where you're going to open a new document, where you're going to close, save out, print anything, all those things. You go to Edit. Well, that's where you'll find everything related to editing your image. Whether or not you want to copy something, paste, fill something in, you'll find that all right here. The next dialog is the image dropdown. Well, this is where you're going to change anything related to your image, whether or not it's the size, you want to rotate it, flip it, you're going to find that all right here. The next one is the layers dropdown. So you can think of layers as stacking different parts of an image on top of each other. And this is where you're going to create different layers or adjustment layers to affect that. The next one is type, like it says, anything related to words, typing something out. You can change fonts right here. Next one is select. You can change the selection of your image, which is very helpful when you're cleaning up the edges of a mask, which we'll talk about later. And then you have filter. So here you can do anything from blurring an image, adding noise to an image, sharpening it up, changing other things like that. We're going to skip 3D because we don't really need it. And then view. View is really helpful. It shows you a bunch of different things. You can zoom in, can zoom out. You can fit your image to fit on the screen, and you can see right there, it goes edge to edge, but you can also view it at 100%, 200%. Typically, you're going to want to fit it to screen. You also have in this dialog rulers, and you can make guidelines for yourself, depending on what you want to work on. You can see I just drag the guidelines down from the top. And if I want to get rid of them, I can hit undo from up here or Command Z to go undo back and forth. Command Z goes back one time, but if you hit Command Option Z, you can go back more than once. So let's go ahead and get rid of those rulers. If you look on the left right here, this is your toolbox. Anything you're going to use to edit your image, you're going to find it here. You have your selection tool, your move tool, eyedropper, your brush. And if you look down here, this is where you can affect your colors. You can pick any color you want. You have two options there, so you can always have two colors on deck. You look over here. I have my layout set out the way I like to use it. But if you go up to Window, you can arrange your window however you'd like to use it. I like to use is called HSK. I'm gonna let you guys download that. But you can also set it to other workspace modes. So let's say I was working on a website. Well, I could click Workspace from the window dialog and go to Graphic and Web. And you'll see that sort of changes up the right side right here. So it brought up Character, which affects fonts, libraries, and we've got the Layers palette. And you can pretty much move these around however you want. I could move my Layers palette up here. I could move my Character palette to the bottom and arrange that however you're comfortable. Right here, all of these options are available. I want to show you one more thing in this video. I'm actually going to set it back to my HSK workspace, and that is changing screen modes. So you see right here, if I hit F, it's going to change the screen mode that I'm viewing in. So this right now is the standard screen mode. You can go up and down on your document, you can move around. That is going to get rid of the tabs when I hit F. So you'll see up here, I'm just in the document. If I hit F again, I'm going to go to full screen. That's really helpful just to move back and forth between those screen modes as you're working. If you go up to Window, you can also turn different tools on and off. Let's say I wanted to open swatches, which are different colors. I would click that, and that would open this on the right side. Let's do one more. Say I wanted to make an animated GIF. I would go down to Timeline, and that opens up this at the bottom. So you can turn those all on and off right up here. The other thing you can do is save your workspace. So let's say I have a workspace I really like. Obviously, I already do, but you could go here and click New Workspace and then save that. And every time you open Photoshop, it would basically put all your tools and dialogues in the same place. So that's very helpful.
Now that you know how to work with the basic Photoshop interface, in the next unit we'll go over everything you need to know about resolution.